What's going on? Hey, it's a beautiful Saturday, July, what, 11th? Something like that. Here comes a car. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always a car, always a car, always a car. So yeah, it's a Saturday, something like July 11th or 12th. My time, I just noticed my date is off on my, it says, what the hell, December 1st? It's not December, it's 95 degrees outside. So, you know, a little while back, I changed kind of like my name of my channel a little bit. I mean, it's still Trekopolis, which is nobody knows how to say or spell or even find me, so I don't know. I don't think a channel name for YouTube is really that important, honestly. But you notice there's a subtitle on the channel called Throttle Therapy, and that's kind of what this bike is to me. So I wanted to do a little video on what this bike means to me as far as the therapy of riding, the therapeutic benefits of riding a bike and whatnot. And I think it does wonders for like the mental health side of things. If you do ride a bike, you'll understand that. If you ride a motorcycle, scooter, whatever, you understand how getting out here and riding is really beneficial. Anyway, I got my cam on the back. I kind of like that with this AOC. I got the front and rear cam always running. I usually keep it in the rear because I like to see what's behind me, other than just the mirrors, you know what I mean? Every little bit helps when you get out here on the road. So, speaking of throttle therapy, it's kind of like finding that peace on the open road, you know? Speaking of finding peace, I don't do this much often, but I'm gonna get on the highway here, which is a little rare. I'm trying to run an errand today and I want to get there, so I'm gonna get on the highway, and I can't talk because it gets really loud, but I'll show you guys, see how fast I can get this thing up to. I haven't done this in a long time. So yeah, we'll see. I can get it up to like 67, but the throttle therapy on this road is not so much great because there's a lot of tension going that fast. But check this out, okay? We'll see what I can get it up to. That's what she said. Yep. 67, and that rev limiter is holding me back. There you go. I can't go above 67. Bounce, bounce, bounce. So I don't like to bounce off the limiter, so I try to go about 65 and just keep it there, because that bouncing's not fun, guys. You know, so that's what happens when you get a 150cc bike. You can't, it's limited. You can't go that fast. So with the therapy deal, you got, you know, the rhythm of the road, right? They call it the rhythm of the road. The vibration, the repetitive stuff, the wind, it just keeps you focused. It keeps you like kind of present and grounded, because there's so much you got to be aware of. It's just that rhythm of the noise and everything factoring, you know, into that. And you got your scenery, right? Not the most beautiful scenery where I'm at, but you still got your scenery. So yeah, this thing keeps up with traffic. As you can see, I'm off throttle. I mean, I can't really keep the full throttle because I'll ride up on people, you know? So anybody that's from the Cincinnati area, this is 747, which is heading into like the Tri-County, they call it, area. So that's where I'm at. I get a lot of comments on like my Hamilton video where people recognize like the scenery and the roads and stuff, which is pretty cool. So yeah, your sensory immersion, I guess I could call it, when you're riding, to me is very beneficial, very therapeutic. Like I said, it just keeps me present in the moment. Sometimes, you know, when you're in a car and you're just sitting there, and some riders call it a cage, which it really essentially is, you're in a cage, you don't have that same feeling. You get kind of tired, you get bored, but I've never felt that way out here in the elements. Even though I got a helmet on, I've never felt like getting tired or bored, no matter how long I ride. Now, I guess if I rode across country like some of these people with the cannonball stuff, maybe I would get a little tired, but I don't know, just be a different experience. How much fuel do I have? Gosh, I forget to look at my gas gauge a lot. Oh, okay, I just filled it up last ride, so I am good. You also get the physical release of like any build-up tension or any, you know, mental shit you're dealing with. You know, that just all seems to go away when I ride, because I don't focus on any of that. I gotta focus on really everything else around me. So yeah, getting back to that mindfulness and that presence of riding, that's key to me. And that's, oh gosh, just skunk. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Shoo-wee. You gotta love a dead skunk on the road in 90-degree weather. That's just fabulous, right? It's a big deal for riding for me, is just that stress release. And again, if you have a bike, doesn't matter if it's scooter, sport bike, cruiser, you know what I'm talking about. And that's why people ride. They just get out there and get that stress relief. Now, riding on the highway, like I said, and even a road like this, is not so much my idea of stress relief. But again, this is a little bit different because I'm just trying to get somewhere today. So I'm taking the main thoroughfares because I don't want to take, you know, 45 minutes to get there. Got to run a little errand. So anyway, it's a major deal. This is a 747. Anybody familiar with this area, Back Porch Saloon is right there. And this is Mulhauser Road and 747. Everything's a big distribution area here in Cincinnati, Midwest. Yeah, so a lot of this stuff's been around forever, like that Bobcat place. That's been there forever. I used to service that company, actually, in my job when I was a tech. Same job, just a different role now. And when you ride, you know, you got that opportunity for your personal growth, I should say, and your development. You kind of find a lot out about yourself when you ride a motorbike. At least I do. Yeah, it's amazing. You know, you get in tune with your fears, your boldness, your intelligence, because you have to navigate all this stuff. So it's really cool about the self-discovery. Okay, so yeah, you just gotta always be aware of traffic, what's going on around you, just common sense, really. And I don't like to ride in people's blind spots. So if you do ride a bike, or you're new to riding a bike, avoid riding in the blind spot of another vehicle, whether it's on your left or your right, because you're such a small silhouette that, yeah, you do not want to get sideswiped by a vehicle that's a couple tons, you know. So avoid the blind spot. Either pass them up, slow up, get behind them, whatever you got to do. But you do not want to ride next to somebody in their blind spot for a long period of time. Not at all. Just throwing that out there. A lot of people they're not even aware of that shit, you know. I like to mention it. So yeah, and another thing with riding, the therapeutic stuff, is just the joy of the experience, right? The joy of the ride, I should say. And for me, I like the joy of the solitude behind riding. I mean, I've ridden with other people before, I've ridden in groups, but honestly, I guess probably most riders would probably tell you that they enjoy that solitude, you know, and I know I do. I'm kind of like a lone wolf, pretty much. I will ride with a buddy of mine here and there. Hey, Kevin, if you're listening, he watches all my videos. We got to ride sometime. He's the guy I did the AS Max Bluetooth set with. But anyway, I know he does a lot of solo riding. It's just hard, you know, because everybody's on their own schedule. Everybody has their own lives and responsibilities. So, like for me, I can only ride when I have the time. So it's hard to really plan to get together with a lot of people to ride all the time. For you guys that can do that, enjoy your life, because that's rare. Not everybody has that luxury. So I ride when I have the time, you know, just based on what's going on in my life, my daily life, and things of that nature. And when you ride, you know, no matter where I go, it's, you know, you have that feeling of accomplishment. I know it sounds silly, really, but there is a sense of accomplishment about getting places. There really is. And I'm gonna park here for a bit, but yeah, it's pretty cool. So when you ride, you always connect with the elements, I should say, right? Connecting with the elements. The wind, the weather. It's great. It's just great. All right. Got a little errand run. The only thing about filming rides, you got this production with cams and batteries and all that crap, you know. But it is what it is. So we are back in business. All right, so let's get back on the road and we'll continue our conversation of the throttle therapy stuff. So, you know, if you're like anyone else, when you ride, you've got to find your riding niche. Some people, what the hell? Guess this is closed. What I was gonna say is you got to find your niche, you know. Some people like to ride no turn on red. Oh my gosh. And this is probably one of those freaking things that won't even sense me. But you know what? I'm going. Maybe not. There's cars coming. My fucking God. Really? The problem with, you know, you can't, these bikes, I say it all the time. I'm gonna go this way. They don't sense these road triggers, like whatever they have in here for the magnets or the sensors for vehicles. These bikes are too small, and I've sat through many red lights where it doesn't even know I'm there. So you know what, I don't even pay attention to that. I kind of glance around, make sure there's no cars coming or stuff, but you know, I'm aware. I'm not gonna like pull out in front of traffic or anything. It's like common sense. But yeah, I probably would have sat at that light, you know, for 4 hours and never go anywhere, you know. So anyway, getting back to the topic, it's always something out here on the road. See about staying present. Riding a bike always makes you stay present in the moment, because there's just so much crap that's always that you got to look out for, and that's going on, you know. So again, some people like to ride on the back roads. Some people prefer, like me, just going around town, maybe in the small city, the suburbs. Some people like the open road where they're going cross country, like your Cannonball folks. You know, it's just, it all is a personal preference, but it really boils down to your lifestyle. Like, you know, how much time do you have in life? You know, if you're a single dude and you don't have any responsibility with a wife or kids, oh my gosh, how lucky is that? You should count your blessings, man, because that is very rare. See, with me, it's not that I don't love my family, right? But when you have a wife and kids and stuff, it makes riding a, you know, a secondary thing. It's not like you can do it whenever you feel like it. So I kind of, when I watch other YouTube videos, I kind of envy the people that don't have like absolutely any responsibility but themselves, and they can take these trips. They can do, and like, man, goodness, you lucky bums. How you pull that off? Well, you pull it off by being solo, right? I know the trick. But unfortunately, hey, life happens. Got married, had a few kids, and you know, my kids are older now, so I don't have that really as an excuse, but it still feels guilty to me. Oh shit, feels guilty to me to go out there and ride. My cam just came loose. I'm gonna have to pull over and tighten this shit up. I don't know what happened there. Weird. Why is that coming loose? That's messed up, yo. I'm gonna have to pull over here and straighten this deal out. I'm gonna get a new setup for this. I don't like this shit because I hit a bump or something, and that's not the first time my camera's fallen over. So I don't know what's up with that. Everything's tight. All right, let's go in here and get this situation figured out here. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, about the family and stuff. You know, when you do have family, spouse, you know, it is what it is. I feel guilty for even going out on the weekend and riding just for a few hours even, and that's just me, because there's so much shit to do always around the house and in the house, and to me it's a guilt trip thing for me. But that's just me. That's just how I am as a human being. Where other guys, you know who you are, you don't care. You're like, hey, my lady don't like it, there's the door. I wish I could be like that sometimes, man. I really do, but I am not like that. Yeah, I don't know why this thing, everything's tight. Everything's tight, yo. Oh, let me get back to this. What the hell is this? Back to this. Exit my CarPlay. I want to put the cam back on the back there. I like that view right here. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. Is this on? Is this running? Yeah. Here we go. Seem like I'm always fidgeting with camera gear and stuff. Well, yeah, let me know in the comments about your riding and how it's therapeutic for you, and what you like to do, where you like to ride, things of that nature. But yeah, I just like to get out here and ride around slowly. I don't like to get on the highway and just have life zoom by me all the time. You know, I like to just take it slow and look at the sights, going low speeds like this, going around the, I mean, there's always something new to see. Now, I do like a good twisty when you're in the woods and you're going through the curves and stuff. But there's not a lot of that like right near me, so I have to travel a little bit for that. Not too far, but it's okay. I don't need the curves as much, but they are a lot of fun. Oh, we got a train. Screw that. That train could be there an hour. At least I know my back brakes work. So ditch that idea. Go back to this light. Now I can go through it at least. Like I said, man, there's a lot of trains and shit around where I live. Big distribution hub. Nice trike. Traffic, traffic, traffic. Always traffic. And that's why I stick to the back roads and the subdivisions, because I don't like really sitting in 95-degree weather in traffic. It really is not fun. Not my definition of enjoyable, you know. But, you know, living in a major city like this is just normal everywhere you go. And this is a Saturday, like, what time is it? I don't even know what time it is. 10:30, maybe? And it's already this just congested everywhere. It's like just tons of traffic out all the time. But it's not as bad as some of the countries that came across. Actually, one of my a comment on my channel, the guy was talking about, check out, was it in Vietnam, I think it was, maybe some of the city in Vietnam, where some of those countries, man, scared the geese. Some of those countries, they have absolutely no, like, organization of their roads. There's no lines on the roads. There's no traffic lights. There's like orchestrated chaos on these roads. And 99% of them are scooters just trying to get places. And then you got the buses, and it's like complete gridlock. It's like, why does that even, who is not intelligent enough to figure out how roads work and paint signs and put up traffic? I just I don't get that at all. That is bizarre to me. It's not that difficult. My goodness. Put some traffic lights up and put some road signs, you know, road markers down, like lines, and educate people how to, like, drive. But I guess they don't do that in other countries. You know, it is what it is. Some of these countries, man, are just, they're very poor. Their economy is very weak, and they just get by. And I can understand that. I just find it very interesting where you come to an intersection in some of these countries and you can't even move because everybody's going like 4 or 5 different directions. Like, weird. Just weird, man. I think there might be a train up here. Let's see. Is there a train yet? No. Oh, I'm gonna go. Hopefully I can beat this train, because I think it's the same track as what I had down there a little further. Maybe not. Like I said, there's so many train tracks. Good, I made it. Yep, there it is. Just made it. Train was down there. Haha. Yeah, so we have like these kind of buildings everywhere. These are just like major distribution centers and stuff. Some of them are actual businesses, but a lot of these buildings around here are, it's like Amazon facilities, warehouses, things of that nature. But yeah, this bike's pretty cool. I bought it basically to get my throttle therapy taken care of. You know, life can be really stressful, really can, and like I said, having something like this little bike is perfect. It really is perfect. It's easy. Let me get down here, and I think I might make that a screenshot. Huh. Okay. Be still. Click. Put my hands out. People like this type of scene. Alright. Use that as my thumbnail, right? But anyway, yeah, I got a lot of shit on my bike, man. I got the front and rear cams, like I said. All the links to this stuff are below if you're interested. Like, these are aftermarket mirrors, and you know, the dash cam, and here's my rear mirror cam. But yeah, I don't really can't fit anymore on here. I mean, really, I got enough gadgets on here now keep me occupied for a while. But that dash cam is really handy. Yep. And like I said, everything else just fits under the seat. I got the seat here. Seat. See? Pretty much storage. I got spare tire repair. I got my pump, you know, got my water. Plenty of space for that under the seat. Yeah, so can't complain. Every time I turn the bike off, this dash cam Android Auto has to sync up again. It's kind of a pain, but it only takes a few minutes usually. Or 4. Come on, you can do it. Then I always have trouble finding out how to get out of this thing. There we go, exit. Driving, record, there. So now I got my rear cam on. And these the front and rear cams are always recording in a loop. So it kind of protects me if something does go down, you know. I have proof of what happened because it's stored on an SD card inside of the dash cam. So I like that. It's peace of mind, you know. I like that. So yeah, this is kind of like the back roads of what you call like Fairfield, Ohio. And the further north you go, then you go into Fairfield, like the township. So there's some bikers. Got their little sport bikes. But yeah, I mean, nobody makes fun of this thing. Really, nobody knows what it is until you either pass it or you study it, because it almost looks like a motorcycle. Honestly, it does. It just looks like a small motorcycle. It doesn't have the step through, like it's lower, but it doesn't have like a Vespa look, like the, you know, like the traditional scooters that are step through. But hell, even if it was, nobody cares. I think a lot of people are accepting scooters now, and they're like, oh, those are pretty cool. You know, whatever brings you joy, man. Don't matter what the heck the two wheels are, just whatever you like. We have a lot of bikes out today, a lot of cyclists out today. It's a beautiful weekend, but it's hot. Tell you what, man, July and August here in the greater Cincinnati area is freaking sweltering all the time. It's part of that Midwest, and the further south you go, it's even worse. My goodness. But yep. So hopefully, if you're new to my channel, thanks for checking it out. Thanks for subscribing. Again, I live in the greater Cincinnati area, and I do all kind of stuff on this thing. But I do like reading the comments. I pretty much answer all of them, as you can see. I like that engagement. There's some creators, like I say, that don't even bother to ever answer a comment, even with direct questions, and I don't get that. I know they gotta have time. There's no excuse. I'm the busiest guy in the world, and I still have time, so I don't know why they don't do that. Maybe it's like they don't, you know, they don't feel that it's necessary for them to grow a channel, and maybe it's not. I always thought it was. I always thought you gotta have, like, respond to comments, and they always tell you, the YouTube gurus always tell you that the more engagement you have with the channel, you know, the better it grows. And I have not seen that through my experience, because I answer almost every freaking comment. At least I acknowledge it, right? Makes no freaking difference on my channel, none at all. So I think that's a bunch of crap, and I think the smart creators understand it's a bunch of shit, so they don't even bother to answer anyone. But again, it's just a courtesy to me. I do it because I find that I get joy out of it, and I just, that mindset, if somebody's gonna ask me a direct question, I'm gonna answer it. You know, not every comment warrants a response. I get that. But the factor for me is, one, I enjoy that engagement, and secondly, I feel it's my duty to answer somebody, especially if they ask me a direct question. That's just freaking common, you know, human being courtesy, right? And if you don't have that as a creator, well, that's, you know, that's your choice. I get that. But, you know, do I think less of a person or any less of them as a person if they don't answer comments? I have to admit, maybe a little. It's like, come on, dude. They're asking you a direct question, you know? Hey, more distribution centers. Woo! Look at that. They're going up, man, everywhere around here. All this land, all this land is gonna get bought out by distribution. It's a shame. There's a Wawa. You guys got Wawa? That's a new facility. So yeah, about 20 years ago, this road right here, none of this was here. This was like a 1 lane or 2 lane, north and south country road. All it was cornfields and stuff around. That's all it was. So within the last 2 decades, all this has built up. You got the major thoroughfare. You know, I really wish they would have put roundabouts in here instead of these lights, because these are a major pain. But you know, it's just building up so crazy. And so I'm gonna do a video on the actual city of Hamilton soon, because I made a video a while back you can check out about the city of Hamilton, which is near where I live, but it's probably over a year old. And believe it or not, within that year's time frame, even more stuff has gone up. It's incredible. So I'll get over there and ride another day for that and do a video on the city of Hamilton. But for now, man, this is kind of a longer video, so I apologize. But this is a major highway here, the bypass, 55 miles per hour. Let's see how fast I can get this puppy up to. Going uphill, so I'm not gonna hit 67, I don't think. Gotta tuck it in, tuck it in. 64, that's about it. I'm going into a headwind too, so that don't help. See, I can glance in that cam, my rear cam, and there ain't nothing behind me, which is good. But you know what, guys, I still would love to have a nice little sport bike. I really would. Maybe like I've always wanted like a Ninja 400, just nothing big and powerful, but a 400, just, man, that would be a lot of fun. Zooming around on that thing when I had the moment, right? I wouldn't want to ride like that all the time, but sometimes you just want to get that thrill factor of a sport bike, right? I love riding them. But I would also have this bike just for my normal cruising, you know. Maybe one day, maybe one day. But yeah, thanks guys for checking out my channel. And drop a comment, let me know what you ride. If you have a small bike like this, like a scooter, whatever. Again, this is the ADV 150 Honda automatic, and does everything I need it to do. And I don't feel intimidated at all getting out on here on these major roads. I do a little bit on the highway, like I-75. Not so much this highway, which is 129, right? Can't see it from here, but 75, I-75 north and south, which goes completely through the Midwest, all the way down to Florida. That's a little intimidating to ride on this thing, because you got crazy people on that highway, man. They're booking and they're not looking. Hey, I rhyme. They're booking and not looking. Yeah, I just don't like 75. It's not even safe in a vehicle. But around here, this stuff isn't so bad. Shoo-wee. It is hot. Hot tamale. Oh, it's this. Okay, I just noticed I have a date there. Saturday, July 12th. So it's the 12th today. Interesting. First time I noticed that. But the time, what the hell, 23:02, the time is jacked up, isn't it? I don't pay attention to my gadgets, like as far as the reliability of what time it is and stuff. I got my phone for that, which is 11:02. But my ankle, you guys have been following my channel, my ankle's getting better. I had an ortho appointment a couple days ago. Everything, the bone and everything's healing pretty well. I'm still limping like Frankenstein when I walk around because that flexibility in my foot is going to take time. I mean, he's like, you might have a limp for a good year, and then you'll probably get arthritis over and above that. And I'm like, oh, great. But he's like, yeah, it's pretty inevitable that, you know, you'll get arthritis. And I'm like, well, thanks, doc, thanks for the encouragement. But, and other people say that's a bunch of shit. They just tell everybody that. All depends on the person. But I'm taking supplements that you can buy at like these health food stores that help the bone and the ligaments so you do not get arthritis. But, you know, of course, traditional medical doctors are not going to talk about that kind of stuff because they want to keep you coming back to see them. I mean, if somebody gets arthritis, that's money in the pockets for the health insurance or the health industry, right? They're going to want to treat you then. So I know the gig. But yeah, there's shit you can take to prevent like arthritis and stuff. There is. Just got to do your homework. So we'll see, but in the meantime I still limp around, but it's all good. It's healing pretty well. I don't really have any pain unless I walk on it way too much during the day. But that's it, guys. Hey, thanks again for checking in. You guys enjoy your weekend, okay?